So thematic analysis refers to a method pattern identification analysis. Okay, so it's a way that we use different techniques to try and find patterns within qualitative data so that I can make meanings of it. So the focus here is patterns, and that. But one of the things that Clark talks about in his revision with WIT was that it's a cluster of analytic approaches. See, what I told you earlier. Now he's even saying a cluster of analytic approach. I think the word approaches here is referring to techniques. That's what he's trying to find out. A cluster of analytic approaches. So it means that several approaches, or even use the word approaches, several approaches are embedded in there. So a cluster of analytic approaches. Remember, it confirms what I taught you last week. You can use if you want to identify patterns of meaning across qualitative data sets. So the foremost thing is that you're not just identifying themes, but you're trying to identify patterns within the teams. That's one. Number two, you also want to try to highlight the most salient patterns in deriving the meaning for the qualitative data sets. Okay. Now, there are different ways that you can do thematic analysis. All these authors, even as I've written, point out that thematic analysis is necessary. So, Mouse and Huberman in 1994 talked about the thematic analysis within their book, in which they outlined a data analysis. Because Mouse and Huberman, by the time he finishes, apart from the conclusion, you would have derived themes which he called codes. So the final theme is the final code that you have at the aggregate level is also a theme. So the data reduction, data display, data conclusion is also part of a way of identifying themes. So that's why I said Mouse and Huberman does it, and then Brown and Clark does it, Tassett does it, Yofe and Yardley does it. So a number of people have talked about it. But Brown and Clark talks about 6 steps in thematic analysis, which is quite creative. There could be 3 key steps, but because of their creativeness, they become 6. Okay. The first one is data familiarization, which is the same thing that we did in qualitative data and in the data collection stage in Mouse and Huberman, where we try to familiarize ourselves with the questionnaire and the data and try to understand what we have and what the index. Remember, I was telling you index the data. So I think the best thing is for me to maybe open my last week so that we do some comparisons as we are going on, because I don't want some students to show up and tell me that, Prof, are you sure you mentioned this last? So let me just identify. Sorry, forgive me. Indexing the data. I want. Just give me a second. Give me a second. Oh man. Okay. Okay. Good. I think I have it now. So let me just share that one too. So now I'm going to share my screen. And after that, then we can use it. Okay. Okay. Let's share the whole screen. And so, okay, so this is it. We have it now. Good. So we have on one side this, we have on one side that. So let me just minimize the other one that we have already dealt with. We did this one already. Okay. So as when we're discussing, we mentioned that you should ask yourself whether the data is available as been prepared. That's what we are talking about in terms of data familiarization. Data familiarization. So let's look. Oh, sorry. The thing I'm trying to show is what I've actually minimized. Okay. Good. So this is what I wanted to show. So data familiarization. Let me make it bigger so that it makes sense for everybody to see it. Well, that's the main one. Okay. So good. Data familiarization. So you go through the data and make notes out of it. So you identify the entities that you have. You identify the gender of the entity. So it's like you are doing descriptive coding where you find out who and who are in it, so that you can actually map the data with the appropriate respondents. And then you can also identify certain things that are quite interesting to you, some primary patterns or ideas that you can pick up from the data. Remember, I told you that one thing that we do in qualitative research is what we call field note taking, where you take notes. I remember I mentioned that specifically that apart from the primary data and the secondary data, you have also the data that comes from the notes that you make on the field. So you can actually, part of data formalization, you are also making notes on what you have already collected. The next stage is coding, which we learned last week about coding. So coding means labeling, which we mentioned that last week, that one thing that we do coding is labeling. So let me just emphasize it here. Mentioned our coding has to do with labeling. Okay. Let's try to find out. Okay, so good. So we label it. So this one, for example, we're using this online tax system. We're trying to identify the key themes that were in it. And we started by identifying certain codes to attach the code to sentences. So we read a sentence and we attach a code to it. We and then attach a code to it. So that's why we ended up coming up with that one. So we do categorization in the coding. We also try to make sure that we put certain labels to them and we can be able to use it to do what we need to do. So we can start by identifying who said it, what the entity, what are the attributes of that entity. And then we try to look at what is the person saying. So that's what we can then look at it. So through the coding, the researcher is able to identify preliminary thematic map, which fits into the next step of analysis. Okay, sorry. So let's go here. Now, team session, this is a step in the process where coherent and meaningful patterns in coded data, in encoded data that are what? Relevant to phenomenon under study. So what are the coherent and meaningful patterns in the coded data that are relevant for our study? So whilst you may like say, try to move on from the first level to the second level, axial codes, where you start putting certain things together. So it's important to note that in team session, teams are not hidden the data, expecting to be teamed down. The researcher rather construct teams on the data. So you have to construct the themes based on the codes that you have been able to actually identify. So you construct the themes from the similarities in the data or the codes. Then you review the themes that have been developed and check alongside the data that has been coded. Sometimes you have to split some teams. You have to bring some teams together. So you have to join them together. You have to split them. Some of them, you realize that there's just a repetitive way of doing things. So why would I want to use that repetitive way of saying the thing? I've repeated myself a number of times. So they mean the same thing. So I would rather want to put them together. Okay. Then define and refine stage of the analysis where you look at the codes that you have had and see that are there relationships? Which one goes with which one? Which one is associated with which one? Which one is part of which one? So you want to try to do, and which one contradicts? Sometimes it contradicts something. So you want to try and identify all the relationships that exist in the codes. Okay. Then you also go on to then the write-up stage where you start memoing. So at the write-up stage, you're not just memoing. Memoing means that you are trying to find a point of ideation where you see something, the data that links with what you have actually seen in the literature. So you can actually point out the memo. You can find a sentence that actually memos something and you can put together. After you have finished your work, you can extract all the memos and then look at your key findings that you have. But whatever you are going to do, always remember that what is your research question? What are you trying to solve? What's your research question? What are you trying to solve? Now, to be able to do this, I want to use, I want to point out that either your memo will confirm or it will contradict. But whatever it is, you're going to put all of them together to try to do the write-up. Okay. How about writing steps to okay, matching the party. So let's in trying to compare the two, data formalization is the data management stage, coding first order codes, team searching first order themes. Okay, and then reviewing the themes, second order themes, then defining and refining themes, and it's what you call the theoretical construct. So thematic analysis can be mirrored to Mouse and Huberman's approach. Okay. Now, just that we were whilst the difference between the codes and the themes is that the codes are have much more flesh, if I should use the word, than codes. So whilst a code could be like male, female, a theme can be much more informative than a code. So maybe I'll combine two codes to form a theme. Yeah. And I can combine themes to form larger themes and then to be able to create aggregates that can be related to the literature. And some of these things are very, very theoretical in this, unless we put it in a descriptive an example. Now, This from Basely. Basely talks about the fact that oh, but I know you know business paper. I hope you can share it with them. It's on the ResearchGate. So basically talks about, that's the name of the title of the paper, analyzing qualitative more than identifying things. They basically talks about 3-step formula in thematic analysis. First of all, describe what is happening. Remember, I mentioned descriptive codes. So outline the context of the study and provide details about the source of data, such as the demographic features of the sample. So let's say like this one I've done here. And you see, so I have it here, Ambrose Mail MTN. You see, I've done it based on the interview that I've done. Okay, already. I hope you can see my screen, please. If you can't see anything, tell me. Give necessary background against which further analysis will be read, as well as providing basis for comparative analysis. Then move to the first major category of the theme. Describe and record its characteristics and boundaries. How did the people talk about this aspect? How many people talked about it? What's not included? What is included? Okay. So that means that you're going to look at a thing here and then try to say, maybe you are doing a thesis on data, mobile money in Ghana. And you have one question on question A being what are the forms of use of mobile money among customers? Okay, and then what are the benefits obtained? So these are the two questions you have to answer. So it means as I look into the data, I have to ask myself, sometimes a respondent can tell in answering my question, can even answer the two at the same time, but you may not realize it. For example, this person says mobile money helps me to buy materials for my work. I see payment from customers. It has made my work easier and it's convenient. So another day, I've seen I've seen an answer for use and an answer for benefit, and even two types of benefits here. Okay. Compare the difference in characteristics and boundaries for just the category or theme, because contrasting demographic groups. So it means that if you have labeled the thing male and female entities, you can be able to use point it out and in terms of the different groups that you have, and or the theme or themes across constructing demographic groups or across variation in the context. So you can look at the context in which it was said. Sometimes somebody works for MTN, somebody works for what's the name? Vodafone. Okay. Now relate this category to others written about it. Okay. Ask more questions. Does it make any difference? If so, what are the relationships? Is there any network? Can I see a pattern relationship? What relates with what? Under what condition does something arise? What should happen for this one to occur? So you start realizing that if you put them together, you can start telling a story. Can tell a story out of it. Now, as I said, this one is very difficult to be able to imagine unless you start analyzing the data itself. So we're going to do analysis of data. So let's take it that we are looking at benefits obtained, and then we are looking at forms of use of mobile money. So these are the two questions we are trying to answer. So we are going to analyze. So to analyze, let's try to analyze. This is qualitative data that has been transcribed for us already. Sometimes the qualitative data has not been transcribed for you already. So I will show you when it has not been transcribed and when it has been transcribed. So this has been transcribed for you already. So if it has been transcribed for you, the first question that we can do is to look at, okay, we have done the data formalization. So we know what is required here. We have categorized them accordingly. Then we can start looking at the data. So to do that, let's try to use a software to do that. So there are two softwares which are predominant in this area. There's NVivo, and then there is, you can get NVivo 14-day sciences by downloading it. You can also get Atlas. So I'm going to use Atlas as an example. I can't use one session to teach all the way the softwares work. Primarily, I began by using software and I stopped using software, but I'm not saying stop using software. I only use software when my data is very large. But if my data is not very large and I can identify the things myself, because I'll write a case study, I end up using I don't use the software if my data is not very large. I can see the teams easily as I write the case study. But let's take it for you can use for Atlas, you can do the web-based one, or you can do download the actual app. Okay, so let me see. Why Atlas? Let me see if I can get Atlas software. So buy now, download now. Oh, why Atlas? Try for free. Okay, just use try for free. So try for free. So let's use, we can either use Atlas web or Atlas desktop. Let me see the web whether it's ready to go. Otherwise, I'll just let me say desktop too. Let me click on this. Back to the installed one. Because that one will give us opportunity to see the network diagrams and everything. And I think that is what people want to draw. They want to draw their diagrams directly and then put it in their work. Sure. Okay, so let me just quickly install this one and let's use it. Okay, I agree. Good thing about using a Mac is that you don't struggle with installations and like how Windows brothers go through. This is 1 gig of installation just within 5 seconds. Okay. So people are saying that probably the Yobo. How many Mac users are in the class? I believe some of you are using Mac. Okay. Who is using a Mac like me? Hey, my class, are you there?
I'm here.
Only you. Where's my... Oh, my eyes have forgotten this, where this thing is. Okay, good. I found it. Okay. Well, Atlas. Okay. So we have Atlas here. Good. Yes. So to open this one fast, go to login. So you log in. You should have created your destiny and so you just put in your address that you have created and then your password. Then you log in. So if I log in, because I've used it. Okay. Manage your free access. Okay, so let me try this one again. Because I use it on my other computer, it's telling me that. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, now I can. So when you log on into, if you are using a trial version, it's not expensive. So let me just tell you how much it costs for the Atlas. That's why and people is usually expensive. If you are a student license, for example, or even education license, let's look at a student license. I think you're supposed to choose a student. It's just about $9, €9 for one user for the web only, and then for the desktop one, you can €75 for 2 years. Then the semester one too is possible. Yeah, but I think your institution should have been registered with them or something like that. I think so. But anyway, they will verify. So that's how it is. Okay. So let's go back to our Atlas here and start Atlas. So this is how Atlas looks like. And I like Atlas because I use that one for my PhD. But this is a highly updated version. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. It's still loading. Atlas, hurry up. Don't disgrace me. Okay. Thank you, Prof. Our studio made some people abandon Macs last semester. Oh, why? How doesn't work in Mac? Robert, no. Gilbert, the guy who wrote it, how doesn't work in Mac?
It works, but it was very difficult at some point.
Okay. Sorry. Oh. If that is the case, I'll switch to my laptop because my laptop has it fully installed. I think. Come on a second. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, boss. Okay, just my fault. Okay. Good. So you can look at sample projects to get ideas, but let's try to do something on our own. So you said mobile. Please, you can see my screen now. So mobile. Since let me now share only the software so that we can see bigger. So we start with mobile money. Okay, then we'll go fast. Sorry. Good. Okay. Okay. I'm using a white theme. My shadow machine. So now you can see that there are networks, there are memos, there are quotations, there are codes, project overview. So we'll start by loading our documents. So let's load our interview, our documents. We have already done our documents. You should have prepared your things already. Remember, I mentioned that. But there's no need putting them into two different, two columns like that. But I do that because I want to remember who says something. Some people put it underneath. Some people also color code it. So please don't use me as the standard. I want to just, I pre-do that because it helps me to be able to appreciate the data anytime I go back to it. So that when I locate a code, I can be able to know what to do with it. And I'm not saying I'm the master in it. Everybody has a style, how he uses these things. Okay. Please, are you seeing my screen? Is it still showing? Because it has now opened something for me.
Yes, Prof.
What do you
Okay,
see?
sir.
You see data on the use of mobile money in Ghana. The Atlas screen, the one I'm shaking, can you see it?
No, we see
No.
projects, news, and then resources.
Project news. So it has opened another screen.
And then we see tutorials or videos.
Okay. Let me. It has opened another screen. Then I'm sorry. Okay, I'm really sorry for. Let me then still share my whole. So this is Atlas itself. I went to the homepage and I loaded my. Let me close the project again. Close the project. Close. Good. So please close the project. So this is save. So this is how it comes. Good. Then what I did is that I created a new project, and I called it mobile money. So I'm opening it. Now I'm loading my document. So I loaded a document by adding a document, like how I did it in the web-based one. And if you look at the document manager, to open this one for you. So now this is it. So this is a tab that shows you what you are doing so far. These are the codes. If you know your codes already, you can create, for example, remember we mentioned that there's a theory you know, and the theory may have certain codes. So you can write the theory's codes. But I want to put create codes that show that where we are going. Remember that the objective of my final theoretical construct is that I want to answer two questions. But we are using thematic analysis. So remember, benefits obtained and then forms of use. So I'll create two codes that whatever I finish here, do whenever I look at it, it should link to these two. So for now, I'll create these two, one for forms of use. Okay. So I will put a new code, forms of use of Momo. So let me do MM. Then I can type another one. I can create all this one. Then the benefits obtained. Okay, are we good? And then you can see there's already a code called MTN, a code called Vodafone. You can see it already done in some of the first level codes that I've done, female, Vodafone. Okay, and then there's another code that is MTN and Vodafone at the same time, but that means you can just join them together by yourself. And I see male, I see female. Okay. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay. Good. So I can show all my codes by showing my code manager. That will list all the codes I have created so far. So you can see it here. Can you see everything I'm doing? As you are adding on, it shows can populate here. Am I okay? Please, let's work together, please.
Yes, Prof.
Obed, release your own and work with me. You yourself, you are learning. So release yours. Because it seems that you said you are at a London size, some secret place. So the secret location, you can talk. So please talk. Okay, so let's start by looking at this. So mobile money helps me to buy materials. Please, So somebody will say that this is buying, facilitating purchase or buying. So somebody can say a code called buying. So you can create a new code and call it buying goods. Okay. But when you buy goods, won't you end up paying somebody? So I would say that I would have done buying goods. I would have gone straight to something else because of the level where I think about the literature. Because in the literature, there's something called supplier settlement. Settle suppliers who give you goods. So I'll create a code for supplier settlements, which is a higher code, higher than. So the more literature you know, the better it is in your coding. Supplier settlement. Okay. Now I receive payments from customers. So somebody will say receiving payments. Me, I won't do that, but I just want to capture everybody's own. Receive payments. Okay. But I will also see customer settlement. Okay. Good. Then it makes my work easier. Okay. Now somebody can say that making your work easier has to do with the fact that it's not ease of use. This one is making your work easier. Easier, maybe the ability to do it in a more or I would say even is it flexible way. Easier, but easier. What can make your work easier is in terms of it's a benefit. Is that not it? Yeah, and it's a benefit out of a function because it's a function that makes it beneficial. Is that not true? So I can say, yeah, I've not coded it. I'm just writing the codes that come into my head. After that, I'll start linking the codes. Functional benefits. So functional benefit. Somebody say functional benefit. But somebody can also say, but Prof, what makes it a functional benefit? It's not because easy to do. So somebody can say making a work. Okay. So I'm just using this one, that tax flexibility in terms of, okay, and ease. That's what I'll call it. Tax free, like a tax or activity flexibility and ease. Okay. Now somebody say it makes it convenient. So somebody but you see, convenience is an experience. What is convenient for Uber is not convenient for me. So I'll say more of convenience is an experience. So I'll say I said I because of the literature I know. I'm using my mind though, please. Because you do that. So somebody say convenience, somebody goes straight to convenience. But I can see first of all, I can see an experience benefit. What you experience when you're using it. Experience benefit. Okay. And I can also see, I think I can see something called convenience, just like a task convenience. I hope you understand me. You know, sometimes some of your respondents can be so good that they will say the words which are just in the literature. Okay, that's yes. Okay. So now let's start coding it, like the coding the first one. So we can select this one. This one, what did you say it was? If I remember. So apply the code. Okay, so what code did we say this one is? Is it not? We said that buy material. So it's what? Supplier. Somebody said supplier. I said supplier settlement. And another person also said that about supplier settlement, it is also related to buy goods. Is that not it?
Yes, bro.
Good. So I finished with that one. So I finished with that code. So I go to another one. So you see it has come there. Already now you see this one it takes time, but Charlie, it can help you. Okay. So let me clean the codes and apply codes again. Then you can right click to get apply codes, or you can do it. That's why I said the web-based one constrains you. This one goes faster. Payment, receive payment for customer settlement. That's what I said. And then payment of goods, receive payment. So I've done that one. Okay, so I go again. And I said that this one makes my work easier. Okay, make my work easier, made my work easier, made my work easier. You can choose a part of it or a full of it. It's up to you. Make my work easier. Okay. Tax flexibility and ease. And then I also said that it's a functional. I said it's out of the function. That makes it easier. So I said functional benefit. Okay. You see what it's doing? It is putting them together for you. then convenient. So one person's speech, I still go on. Convenient, what do I see? Convenient. I said task convenience. And I said task convenience is more of an experience. I may be wrong. Because something easier too can be an experience. And now mail. I remember I said mail. So all of this is just for a meal. I can just choose the whole thing for a meal. And he is also MTN. Okay, good. Now you can also do coding by searching keywords like buy materials. In case the codes are plenty, you can just search for and label and use a smart code or just automatically label it like that. But our data is very small, so we can go by one. Now, the one problem about those ones, sometimes somebody may use it out of context. So, for example, I don't like buying materials, and you said all buy materials should be supplier settlement. But you're saying I don't like it. A don't was in front. So if you're not very careful, you didn't sort it out. You may end up coding the wrong thing as a positive. Okay. Now I take payment from goods supplies. This one everybody should know that it's still goods payments. Oh, please help me, gentlemen and ladies. Oh, they don't understand what I'm doing. Do you understand what I'm doing?
No, Prof.
Yes.
Oh, please, who understands what I'm doing?
Prof, please, I do.
Okay, can you explain to your friend? What am I doing?
Okay. So what Prof is doing here is that he has some direct quotations which he has obtained from an interview
Good.
with a particular respondent, and we want to identify the main ideas that the respondent was trying to communicate in order to reduce the data to a manageable form.
Thank
So
you.
when you pick a
So
particular
I
sentence,
am actually doing coding. Is that not it?
okay, yeah.
Remember what we learned in coding? All the things I talked about last week. How do you code? You code by applying labels. So what did the person say? And how does it relate to the research question I'm trying to answer? Do you understand it now? So when I read it, I will apply the code. And the code can either come from my literature or can come from the framework. In fact, it's both. It's not both. So some of the codes may relate to the literature, some of them can relate to what the dependent is. Something new I didn't know in the literature, but the person is saying it. Please, are we all here?
Yes, Prof.
Yes, bro.
Yes, Prof.
Okay. The gentleman who explained it. Thank
Yes,
you.
Prof. We're all with you.
Okay.
Yes,
So
Prof.
let's continue. Let's go faster so that we can finish. So apply codes again. So where are we now? We receive payment. So we can say that this is customer. No, this is for settlement again. I pay for goods. So supplier settlement and then pay for goods. Pay for goods. You are paying for goods is buy goods. Okay, if you are buying goods, okay. Same thing. Okay. I use it to pay service providers. Is it not the same as supplier? Hello?
Yes, Prof.
Supplier settlement again. So I'll just leave that supplier. And here I can see what female, everything here was said by what a female. Is that not it?
Yes, Prof.
Female. Okay. And here too was said by an MTN person. Everything here was said by an MTN person. Okay. Good. Okay, now here. Okay, sorry. I use mobile money to make payments and also receive payments. So make payments and also receive payments. When you're making payments, but this one he didn't say, so it could be personal. Can you realize it? He didn't say who is making a payment to. So you have to be very careful when you're just judging that it is the same thing. So it's not any other things here. So I rather try and create another code called personal settlement. Like I'm settling people for my net or social network per settlement, personal settlement, like your own private settlements. And so, but you see, it's still part of supplier payments and all those kind of stuff. So I can say that he makes payment. So okay, I think I should have used the word make payment to as a code to just to capture, because I did buy goods, receive payment, so make payment. Or I can edit the buy goods to add to include. So let me use, let's go to the code manager and let's edit the code. I'm trying to teach you all these things at the same time. So say buy goods. So let's edit, rename it. So buy goods / make payments, so that it will capture everything. Because we are seeing make payments come a lot. So now when we come here and say make payment, apply codes, make payment, buy goods, make payment. Okay. And it's the same as personal. This is why I said personal, because I don't know whether the person is doing it for himself or his. And then receive money from clients. So customer settlement. It says clients. Okay. Please, I may be wrong. Where codes are, what I mean by I may be wrong is that not that I'm wrong, but the words are much more based on the knowledge I have. So if you don't know much about the literature in the area you are researching on, you'll be using wrong labels, and the time you finish, you'll be very far off from what is expected of you. So let's go again and apply codes. Receive. Remember, we did something like receive payment. Good. And that we also said client customer settlement or client settlement. Good. It says as a platform to make savings. Hey, that's different. Now, whenever in literature, whenever you create, it can be financial. We call it financial infrastructure. Well, savings is a form of financial infrastructure. Financial, am I right?
Hello, Prof.
Yes.
Prof, just a little clarification before we go on.
Yes,
so this is like an app that helps with the thematic extraction.
Actually, it doesn't do the thematic extraction for you. It just gives you your interview and helps you to apply your labels to it so they can get your codes or your teams. And after that, be able to summarize the data in a format that the gentleman mentioned earlier, a format that can be much more easier for you to manage. Because the interview transcript can be very long, and you want to pull all the key things and issues out of it.
Okay.
Do you understand me?
Yes, please.
Okay, good. So it's not just an app. These are softwares. There's one called NVivo, there's one called Atlas. And I wanted Atlas is very flexible to use and very fast. Yeah, but NVivo too has more functionality. Okay. So a platform to make savings. And I said that savings is a financial infrastructure. So I'd rather put and it's also a functional benefit. Remember that the platform is Momo is helping you to get a function out of it. So it's a functional benefit out of Momo. So I can say it's functional benefit, but I can't put I put a functional benefit here. But this one, I didn't put a make payments. To make payments, I didn't put any type of benefit it is. Okay, don't worry. It's good I left it. So make payments is a functional benefit. And I can also say that here, I can see that I can find another code. And the code I can see here is what we call a financial infrastructure. Okay. But I can also see another one. There's a statement that says it allows clients without fiscal cash to make payments. So you are also seeing something about payment flexibility. Or payment options, payment flexibility. And then you also say it helps me to make payments to creditors, so creditor settlement. But payment flexibility that has to do with something with mobility too. You don't need to go back to you don't need to move and go up and down to find an ATM. So it's something to do with mobility too. So now let me apply them. So you create a code as you read them, then you come and apply them where you see it. And the codes can be applied to different things. Doesn't mean it's for only this specific one. So sorry, this one is about to make savings. So I need financial infrastructure. Okay. And I think I've done the other one already, where I said it is a functional benefit, financial infrastructure. Okay, financial infrastructure, functional benefit. It allows for payments for clients. So this is client settlement at the same as payment without cash. So something can have multiple codes. So client settlement, is it true? Is it true?
Yes, Prof.
Client settlement. Client settlement, I can't find it. Or customer settlement, that's the same as client settlement. Good. And payment without cash. So tax and activity flexibility. Okay, somebody can say that one too. And you can also have payment flexibility. In fact, it's more about payment flexibility, not the tax flexibility. Now, make payments with creditors without, so creditor is in the payment flexibility again. Creditor settlement is there. And then the tax, the payment flexibility and mobility. So I've done that one. Now, it makes it portable to receive money and effect payments for transaction. Can you see the same thing? Receiving money is a code. So I go back here, receiving money. Where's receiving money? Okay. And then payment flexibility. Portability is there, so the mobility and portability should be captured too. Now, it's a name to send money to one who gives me hair products, the woman. I didn't do this mail part.
Yes, Prof.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me. Mail and what? MTN. This is Vodafone. Mail and Vodafone. Okay. So I should have even done it to this whole data. I think I did it on the wrong one. You can also remove a code after you have applied it. Don't worry. And you can always remove that. It's a Vodafone and what? This is Vodafone and then mail, if I'm right. Good. And then Bridget's own was what? Female and then MTN Vodafone. So both of them. Female and MTN Vodafone and MTN. Okay. Good. And then can we see that it makes okay. Okay, I think we should have, don't worry. I'll do something as we go on. It makes send money to those who give me hair products. So payment for goods and services. Okay. Which is
Supply settlement.
which one? Client said
No.
no.
Supply settlement.
Thank you. You are weak. I thought you were asleep. Good. So you see money from people who buy from me. Okay, client customer settlement and then customer settlement and receiving or what payments. Good. I used to pay for goods. So goods. It's already there. Okay. And then what I used to receive payment for goods bought. Okay. So these are about different customers and how they sometimes if you're getting the same thing over sometimes you have to stop because you have to multiple code or the same thing, unless there are differences in what they said. Receive good box payment for so this is cost as you said again. Pay for good and receive payment. Receive payments and customer settlement. Customer. Okay. I think this one there. Okay. So I've not done the supplier one here. You see, when you click on it, it will show you where it took it from. Supplier. Oh, it's already there. This one. Okay. Okay, good. Now we have done all of these things. It's very interesting. First level coding. See what that we have.
Yes,
So now,
Prof.
good. Now let's look at the codes that we have. I look at the code manager. We can group codes. So we can identify relationships. Now, the first relationship we want to try and establish is that we have a research question. So we can group them first, but our grouping will be the last. Let's try to combine and find out as next level. Some of them may be related to each other. Now, tax and flexibility and ease. Tax and activity flexibility and ease It could be a functional, and because it's giving flexibility and ease to, it can also be an experience. Do you understand me? It can be a
Yes, Prof.
functional benefit and experience. So we can say that this one is, I can move it. So I can say this one is, look at what you tell it, is either associated or is part of, or it contradicts or is a form of experience benefit. So I will say that it's part of or is associated with. So which order should we use? Is it part of or associated, or is the same meaning?
Associated.
Associated with, good. You see, in my work, when I did it in another class before I just came here, I told them that they chose part of. so let's go again. Then task convenience. Okay, task convenience. Convenience there, it is an experience. So let's go straight to experience. So it's also what is what associated with. Is that what you want?
Yes, Prof.
Okay. You can create your own.
Yes, Prof.
You can say opposite of, whichever one. Okay. Now, supplier settlement. Okay. Supplier settlement, it comes from either a payment flexibility, because you can pay the supplier without going to apply. So payment is also associated with supplier settlement, if I'm right. Yeah. Then receiving payments too is from customers. Is that not it? So customer settlement. We saw that one already. So associated with customer settlement. And then personal settlement is also on its own. Payment flexibility. If somebody says something like that, it's I can pay people without going somewhere or something like that. If I double click it, will show me. But I don't want, you see, it will start showing me all the quotations. Look at it, without fiscal contact. So creditor is associated with creditor settlement too. And then what? Payment flexibility is associated with creditor settlement, creditor. Okay. And then over the words, payment flexibility also be associated with somebody else. Customer settlement. It's also flexible for the customer, is that not it?
Yes, Prof. It is.
But nobody said it. That's one thing you have to be very careful. I don't think anybody said, let's click on it. Clients without fiscal client, good. You said customer clients, okay. So please let the data speak for itself. That is why if you then double click and you check whether people said it or not. You see what it has done. It has summarized everybody's own, so I can remember and I can continue coding again. So it's associated with. Now it's asking me that whether I want to merge it into that one. No, I don't want to merge it. Why is it saying that? Because there's a lot of things here already. So let me see if I can split it in subgroups. Merge, no, merge into creditor settlement. I think I'm already there. I've already saturated. So it's customer that I need to do. If you're already there, then the thing is asking me, okay. Let's continue. MTN. So the mail. Okay. So MTN. So okay. MTN and Vodafone, they belong to I can create another code and call it mobile network. Is that not it?
Yes.
Okay. And I can say that MTN and Vodafone are part of the mobile network. Is that not it?
Yes, Prof.
Or I can subgroup them. You can group it. If the data is plenty, you can just drop it inside and then say that it should move under it. So it's a sub. Otherwise, it will make your thing plenty. So let's just group it like that. Okay. Move. Okay, so it's under. So now I can get mobile network. Because what we saw is that we didn't see that there was any specific differences. All the mobile networks were getting the same experiences. So it's better I have a variable called mobile network and and then the male and female is associated with what? Gender.
Yes, Prof.
Where is female?
But we've moved the female under the mobile network.
Sorry. You see, people are those who are we didn't even see. Male and female. We can put them in a code category or a group. Okay, so either we want it to be in a group called what, gender, or male plus female. Hey, what did I do? I ended up created something else. Sorry, let me undo. I should have just group. I wanted just group from selection. No, what I wanted to do was to just create a subfolder, not a group. Okay. Where's my folder business? It's here. Okay. Gender. Please, there are more things you can do. I just want to quickly, I'm just demonstrating this so that I can just draw something for. Okay, good. We are not done gender. Collapse those two. Okay, now let's start looking at it very carefully. Benefit, make payments and goods is associated with what? Make payments is associated with supplier settlement, if I'm right. Oh, it's already there. Oh, okay, supplier settlement. It's also associated with what? Personal settlement. Somebody says buy hair. Personal settlement. Okay. It's also customers also make payments. So and it's also associated with creditor settlement. Okay. But whatever you do, you can actually also, now let's try to see if we can build it together. Now, remember we've gotten some interesting benefits. So all the settlement issues are forms of use. So we said customer credit and supplier settlement. They are all forms of use. Okay. So I can either move it under forms of use so that I can make my data. I can either merge it or move it or contract associated with property of, let me just say move under forms of use so that my data becomes very easy for me to look at. Then the benefits, experience benefit, function benefits. Experience benefit, there's only one, convenience. But I said this one too can go in the experience. Financial infrastructure, I said it's also part of a functional benefit. Okay, so I'm good. So benefit, where's the other benefit? Functional benefit. I can put under benefits obtained and move it. Now I have benefits obtained, I have forms of use. And the rest of the things I just put they have relation task, flexibility, and payment. They are all under something else. Okay. Now let me attempt to the gender that we read. You said gender is, we saw that the gender were experiencing the same thing. So we can say female were experiencing the same. The female experienced the same thing. Okay, let's stay at the top level. Female and male, they were all getting the same. There were no differences. So they're experiencing the same benefits. Okay. And then we also realized that female and male were also experiencing the same forms of use. Okay, good. Then the mobile network, did we see any difference between the mobile network? No. Any contradiction? No. Okay, so we could see, oh, Tigo was the one which was for portability. We didn't do Tigo. Airtel Tigo. Okay. So Airtel Tigo is associated with portability, the portability issues, if I'm right.
Yes, Prof. Portable to receive payments only after.
Okay. Hey, I'm supposed to put my camera on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Class, forgive me. You are taking a group picture on Zoom. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay, let's continue. I think when we finish, we'll take a group picture too. Okay, so Airtel Tigo was the one with that one. And Vodafone, MTN, they help MTN and Vodafone, they are doing the same things with the other one. I don't think there's any big difference. But Airtel Tigo was the only one who was saying flexibility. Okay, Vodafone 2 said something about physical contact. Vodafone, so Vodafone 2 is here. But MTN didn't, the MTN man didn't say anything like that. Okay, so it's good. You have to be careful you don't say the thing that the thing didn't say. Okay, so the mobile networks are also influenced by what did I do? Okay, good. Now we are finished. Now let's go to drawing the diagram that will go into your thesis. Okay, so let's go to we are at code manager. We have finished coding. We have done a lot of movements around, and that time is so let's open the network manager. Okay, you can also create a memo. Memo will just, in case you found, for example, one thing that we realize is that, let me just point it here. So for example, if I wanted to create a memo, what I would have done is that in case I saw something very interesting, I could have, let me just show you what makes it. It allows clients to pay with this without fiscal cash. Now, the issue says that the benefits you obtain, in fact, this whole thing, the benefits you obtain depends on the readiness of your members of your network, the readiness of your members of your network to also use the mobile phone. So if they don't use the mobile phone, you don't get those benefits. So this type of discussion tells you that the person's clients are willing to use Momo. That's why it makes it work. I hope you understand. The creditors are also willing to use Momo. That's why it makes it work. So I can do a memo here. I can't do a memo here. Let me go back. Click on memos and see if I can do a memo by clicking on new memo. And then I'll type it after that associated. Okay, so in Boateng 2011, the readiness, the benefits obtained is related to the readiness of your customers and suppliers to use the mobile money in the business transaction. So if the person is not willing to use it in the business transaction, you will not get the benefits that you are going to get. That's what it means. So this is a confirmatory memo. I found someone confirmatory memo. I could actually have turned it into a code somewhere and then so what happens is that you can associate it with something. Right. You can insert. How did I do that? Okay, sorry. So you can insert the quotation to link it. Quotation manager. Okay. Oh, Let me see. Oh, I should have done it on the other side. Hey, I've done it before, but I've forgotten. Oh no, this is just hyperlink. Okay. This one too is criticize and so you can actually do the same thing. Okay. Come out. No. I'm supposed to link it to a quotation. Okay, good. I have all of them here. So I'm looking for the one on. It makes me. Okay, this one. Good. Good. So. Okay. Good. So I've been able to put it here and I've written my memo by. So I have the quote here which supports my discussion. So I can then write it here. So I just put the quotation just by his side. Okay. There are different ways of doing it, but I'm just trying to. So now if I was writing, if I generate a lot of codes, by the time I finish, I just want to show you something. If I generate a report with the content, okay, that's all. If I generate a report of content to bring all the content there together with it. Okay. Okay. Explains, criticizes, discusses, expands, explains. Okay. Explains. So sorry. Okay, this is good. Explains a new relationship. And then where is my data? Oh, sorry. Supposed to link it to my data. Oh, sorry. You let me finish what I was doing first, and I'll come back to this one. Okay. Already I have it here. So when you open it up, it will show you where I'm talking about here. And so the memo is inside. Oh, sorry. The memo is inside here. And I have it here. But if you generate a report, it will actually bring all of them together with the link quotation. So, so it has put a quotation for you. So you do your write-up, and you insert the quotation. You do a write-up, and you said the quotation. If you want to add codes to it, you can link codes to it too, and to generate a report for you. So you can have your write-up out of it. Now, what I wanted to show you here was to now turn it into something that makes sense. So now let's start making sense out of it. So I start by creating my network. My first network will come. And then I need my codes to be able to generate my. So I open my code manager. It's so big. Okay, so good. Now remember that our objective is to solve a problem in which we are saying that what are the benefits obtained from using mobile phones? Okay. And then we said that there is two types of benefits, experience benefits, and then there is functional benefits. So the thing will tell us the type of benefits. So I have experience benefits and functional benefits. The benefits obtained. Okay. Good. Now, we also pointed out that if you make a relationship, it will come here. We also realize that there is another question for forms of use. So I bring the forms of use here. And there are different types of forms of use. There is creditor settlement. There is customer settlement. Okay. And then there is personal settlement. Oh, but I see what is happening.
Yes, bro.
And then there's supplier settlement. Okay. Okay, so this is question 2. I'm solving all the question at the same time. So let's go back to question 1. In fact, question 1 is this one. So let me move it. Okay, let me leave it like that. at the end of the day, okay, I can move it. Okay. Those who have been doing such equation modeling, is this familiar? Hello, are you here? Oh, my friends are not here.
Prof, we are here.
We are here. Yeah, it is.
We are here.
We are all here. We are here.
Okay, so we talked about the different experience benefit, but there are different forms of the benefits. So let's start dropping them. Buying of goods. You see, as soon as you drop it, it will tell you where it's all go. Financial infrastructure. Okay, so financial infrastructure is a functional benefit. So let me. Okay, let me open it one. Okay, so let me drop all of task convenience. It's associated with experience way. Flexibility in tax. Okay, associated with what? Experience benefit. Okay. Okay. But I remember I mentioned that this one itself, it can also be associated with the functional benefit. I think Obed, I mentioned that, didn't I? Was sometimes,
Yes,
associated. You see what happens? As soon as you put it there, then you put it. Now, look at something. I'm just going to show you guys something right now. If I can change the relation and look at what will happen. It is part of, you see the arrow has changed. When you say something is associated, that means that the two arrows are going to, it can either be here or here. But what we are saying is not that. We are saying that it is part of. So all the associated discussions that you guys choose was wrong. Do you understand me? You see, property of or is part of is better. Because when you associate, it means it's a two-way. Is it a two-way relationship?
Okay.
Are you see what you both said?
That's true.
Now you say it's a cause of. Okay, or what are you saying? It's part of. So you are saying it is part of, which is the actual thing. It's a variable. It's part of this. Or you can create your own and call it like it's a measure of whichever one you want to use. Yeah, but it's not. If you say it contradicts, then it's a different issue. But you say it's part of. It's part of. Please, do you understand why I'm changing it?
Yes, Prof.
Class, no, I'm on. It's Jewel here. Ajua and Jewel are the ones who used to. And it's Yama. Are you here?
Prof, I'm here.
Okay, you have been talking already.
Prof, I'm also here.
Okay, I'm also here too. Okay, so let's payment flexibility. Wow, you see the cross relationships. So payment flexibility is a form of use, but it generates a benefit. Okay. Okay. Let me worry. Don't worry about the associated again because of the fact that you have already finished. So I can put payment flexibility here, but I'm just trying to show you what it is. So payment flexibility is here. Okay. Let me finish. Buy goods and services. Oh, that one is already there. Financial infrastructure is there. What else is not there? Receive payments. Okay, receive payments. I don't know where it will go. Okay, it's only for from customers. Okay. And then I think we are finished. I've done all of them. Oh, now let's do the mobile network. So mobile network. Okay. All the mobile network is associated with both of them. Okay. But when we break it down to MTN, see what's happening. So Airtel Tigo by one relationship. I'm going to show you some magical. Look at it. When you click on it, then the quotation didn't show. Because I didn't link it. The code rather I should show. Okay, anyway, the issue. The content is currently not available. Oh, okay. Hey, let me do. But if I go into it's rather on this one rather. Mobile network, Atlas.ti. I thought I linked Atlas.ti to. I didn't link it to the code here. That's why. I just linked it to the. Okay. So if I want it, I have to go back to the data. I have to go back to the data. Where is Atlas.ti? Portability, yeah, portability. And then apply Atlas.ti to it. Apply Atlas.ti. Mobile network. Good. Now I come back here, you see what will happen. So let's go back to network. Now you see that if I double click this, it should show the quotation. Good. It makes it portable to the code. Good. Because I didn't link it, that's why it was not showing. Are we good now? Now it's showing now. Good. So it's not, I made a mistake, not, I think the same thing. MTN, okay, I didn't associate MTN with anybody, so no worry. Vodafone. Vodafone too was associated with this one. Okay, did I link it to the literature, to the quote? Maybe I didn't link, I don't remember. Okay, so now we have done this one. What about gender? Okay, gender. I've not linked gender to any of the forms of use or anything, so I'm not surprised. That's why. So what you do is what will happen. If you don't do it, it will not work. So if you look at gender has not been associated with in the experience. Oh, sorry. I created it as just as a folder, not as a. Okay. I have to move it from here. Okay. I have to move from there. Okay, unless I create it and do it all again. And then let me not delete the folder. Let me just put it. I wanted to change this one to a code gender. Okay, then put this one underneath. I'm put this one underneath. Okay. Good. I just created it as a folder, but not as a. Okay. Now I can link this one to this. Good. And I can link this one to this. Then good. Is it move? Or I should say good. So when I put gender here, it's also linked with. Okay. But if there are some specific things, I can actually go and break it down into male and female, which it will tell me. Look at it. Now it can tell me that females are related to this one and related to that one. I did that one already. But unless there's specific females that are related to specific type of data, I have not done that, anything like that. Otherwise, it should have gone straight to that one for me. Let me see male. Okay, so male too have an influence. That this is influenced by forms of use and female. Okay. Now this is an interesting thing that we have here. So there are I can remove this one. Let me remove my gender, and I just want to show you what you have. Remove this one from here. So gender, let me just remove gender too. Okay, good. These are mobile network, all the mobile networks. Okay, so now this is the forms of use. The answer for the forms of use is that creditor settlement, forms of customer settlement, and personal settlement, and then supply settlement. Here we have got benefits obtained, experience benefits, and functional benefit. I've got different ones, but you see, tax flexibility belongs to both experience and then benefit. So that means that depending on certain types of activities, certain types of benefits you can gain informs this. So somebody can say that the experience you get reinforces the functional benefit because of the two relationships that's here. So is this gentleman here, my man, Desmond? So somebody can say that the relationship between experience and functional benefit is mediated by, so let me now do a very interesting, is mediated by this one. Because this is part of this and it's part of that. Come on, you say that by gaining this one, you can gain this one. So somebody can put another, another variable here, another no could. Okay. Flexibility and ease. Okay. So I will rather say flexibility and ease. Where did I put it? Flexibility and ease. I created it to. There's tax flexibility and ease. Okay. Let me use this one. Okay. So that one is in between here. So I could actually just do this. Let me use this one. Good. That's all I wanted to say. Good. That's what it means. So the relationship between here is very clear. Okay. So I can then use this one to do my writing and begin. So if in terms of benefits, I'll discuss benefits obtained and then functional and experiential, and I'll discuss what constitutes it. And I can also say that the benefits you obtain is also a relationship between whatever you happen in terms of the use. But we are seeing some of the use variables come here. Payment flexibility is coming to experience benefits. Okay. So this is what you end up doing in terms of your quality. Somebody will say that, Prof, does it really matter? That these things really matter? I just want to open some teasers for you to see why I say it matters. Why it matters. So let me just open a teasers here for you to see how students do use these. Now this is teasers that just last week or last 2 weeks, the students finished and did their Viva. So they are still working on their corrections. I want to, maybe I should use their slides. I'll show you in their slides and I'll show you in their, okay. Okay, so let's look at this one. So these are things from the data, like what we just did right now. Can you see? Things from the data. This is somebody doing something on stakeholder interest in healthcare. Things from the data. So all those things that you have here. The first level, buy goods, receive payments, they're all things from the data. Then the implication. That's what you got, the forms of credit, the supply, settlement and things that I put there. Okay. Then how does it relate to literature? So this one is about the first pre-legalization, sectoral interest, and this one post-legalization. And when you put it all together, you get sectoral interest. So this is what has happened right now. You see how this one is. This one doesn't do anything in terms of gender, more about the themes. So what you see there, what you have seen here is what has been generated, a similar thing is what has been generated here. But just that this one, let me remove this one, the network, so it can be clearer for you to see. Because the network was not doing me too much. Good. Now you see, this is what you have seen here. Okay. Good. This one has dependencies. That's why we found. Look at this one. Do you see what's happening here? It's a similar thing that you are seeing here. So when you finish, you can actually I think, generate a report based on the this one. Okay, so it tells you about the relationship. But I think this one just tell you about relation. I want the diagram one. Modifying creator. Okay, let me see. Okay, views. Oh. Anyway. Sometimes people, there's a way that you can export the whole diagram, or you can cut it out and then export it. Okay, but whatever it is, I just wanted to show you that this is what zoom in. Good. So this is what you actually see the students drawing like this in their thesis. In some university, they will tell that they want to see that you use the software, so capture the drawing from here, rather inside here into the work. Okay, so please don't be surprised. And that you see now is the Ghanaian sector has 4 main sectoral interests: political, regulatory, leadership. So I would say that in Ghana there are 4 types of usage of Momo: creditor settlement, customer settlement, personal settlement, and supplier settlement. That's what has happened. The 4 sectoral interests can be subcategorized into 2: emergent, event-triggered interest, and relatively enduring. Okay, so somebody can say that I can also this is creditor and supplier is business. Creditor, supplier, and this I can do is creditor, supplier, and customer are all business settlement, and then this one is personal settlement. So I can say that I can subcategorize them into 2 groups, which can be here: business and supplier again. And that one I would just have to create code called business settlement, and then personal settlement is there already. Okay, I can just say social settlement. That's for your social use. That's why I remember it's personal settlement. Okay. So when I put those 2 here, then I have to go back again to my codes and apply the codes. So then when I'm applying the codes, sorry. Okay, good. So I'm applying the codes. See, this is the link manager. It tells you the relationship between 2. Okay, so all the links are here, but let me just, sorry. Oh, good. I have to be here rather than, so applying the codes. So in applying the codes, I would open my, I can't open this in bigger. Okay, don't worry. So social settlement, and it's here. Social settlement, I can put underneath that one. Okay. Forms of settlement. So let me good. Social settlement. Sorry. Can't I make this one bigger? It's becoming very small for me to use. Okay. Okay. Okay, but I've just done that. So let me move it. Social settlement. No, it's not here. Forgive me. Let me use another relation manager will help me know. Good. Thank you very much. This is what I was looking for. The social settlement, I'll move it to forms of use. Okay. I'll move business settlement to forms of use. Move. Okay. So within it, I mentioned that personal settlement is now part of social settlement. So, no, it's not. I wanted to move it, but it's not allowing me to move the personal settlement. Okay, that's all right. Okay. Let me as part of, as a course of, as part of. Good. And then creditor, customer, supplier are all part of business settlement. Good. I thought you could actually let me create a sub underneath. Okay, it's not allowing me. Okay, so this is what it will look like when I come to my, forgive me, good. So when I come to my, here and I choose my code manager. So this is what will happen. Social settlement, good. And then business settlement. Good. So that's it. That is it. Okay, so forms of use. I am the one who created this relationship. I can delete. Oh, okay, good. So now you see what's happening. So the same thing is what I've done here. So now I'm saying that there's business settlement and social settlement. Underneath business settlement, you have these three. And underneath, okay, so good. Underneath business settlement, you have these three. And underneath credit supplement and this. But there's a complex relationship of what makes some things which are business can also be the same time at some of the users can be. So you, the user is the one who have to define whether you're using it for business or you're using it for personal. That's all. So that's how I've been able to do that. So there's the model. Okay. Oh, but are you going to use it for your work? What is this? Yeah, you can have the internet. Okay, are we good now? Okay, now let me get comments from people and questions. Okay. But you see, by the time you finish, you identify the relationship that you can explore in the literature. This is a part of, this is associated of, so you can be able to build your own relationships. This code link manager can be very good for you to discuss the literature. Okay. Oh, but now, oh, but I don't know about class, but you may understand that this is one of the reasons why it is important to know how to code without software. Because when you get to the software, it's up to what you do. What the software what the software just doing is helping you to just move and categorize things faster, easily. So when I was doing my PhD, the person who taught us qualitative data analysis told us that you can even use basic word where you use color code. So where is supplier settlement, you make it green. Where is customer settlement, you make it red, and all those kind of stuff. And then you use footnotes to start labeling. After that, you can count certain things together and count certain things together. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
But the only thing is that word cannot group cannot pull out the summaries for you, like how this one will pull out the summaries for you easily. There are no direct quotations. Let me see. This one, there are direct quotations, so you can get this. Supplier settlement, there are direct quotations. Okay. So you see, to pull all of them for you, just like that. Okay. Let me get your viewpoints, class. Okay. So what if your data came as an audio? What can you do? So let's do that one quickly, and then I will round up. Kofi Odo, you can go ahead. So now go to NVivo, because NVivo has a part of it that allows you to. Please, you see my screen?
Yes, Prof.
I thought you were not seeing my screen. Sorry. There's a hand. Let me answer Kofi Odo's questions first.
Oh no, Prof. When we are done, I was just going to do my thing.
Yes.
You asked us to give our reactions, but then you said
I'll give me your reactions. Okay, let's go. So this is Vivo. I'm not going to download the software, but I'm going to do something in Vivo that will be of interest to all of you. So there are softwares beyond Vivo. There's different software can do the same thing I'm going to tell you. You have to know how to transcribe. So there are different softwares that can do that. But Vivo to have something like that, in which for 15 minutes you can get it for free. So you upload and then to do the transcription for you. So let's see how it will work. So you start your trial. So in case your audio was there, but you should have been using this thing all this time and you were going through manual. But you see, you may not understand the Ghanaian English, so please.
Yes, Prof. Mm.
Okay, so. Okay, so we have come to the portal. Now maybe I can use two different software to just show you how it works. But there's a lot of work in the thing because it will not categorize the people's voices for you. So should we download and try again? Or should we use the online? There's no this one, I don't think there's online. It's an online version. Oh, it's going to take so much time. Okay, let's easy transcription, okay. Oh, okay, they want you to use the upload. Okay. Okay, good. Why is still telling me I should download? I don't want this one. I just want the download the. Let me stop this one. Use a very easy one. Okay, so Word can do it for you, but Word you have to set it up to him to do that for you. So let me see whether I can set up my Word to do it. There are some modification you have to do before to do that, but maybe let me just show an online one. That is better. But the Word still it will give me a long